Welcome to PixelJunk Radio episode 8. I'm your host, Ariel Angelotti, and with me are Dylan Cuthbert.
Hello.
Duncan Flett.
Hi.
And Jaymin Kessler.
What up, yo?
Yes, okay, so yeah, let's get the drinks going. Yeah. There we go. So...
Whoa, that is not water.
No, that's not.
Why did I think this was water?
It's got that sort of like slightly. It's been pissed in at some point.
It's,
Oh,
it's
dear.
liquid and it's clear, so...
It's
Jaymin
not
is
totally clear though. It's kind of that big
Jaymin's
yellow.
drinking the Nihonshu, which
yeah.
is otherwise known as sake in the West.
You drink that like, I know you are now, but you drink that without a meal. You're quite happy to drink that like recreation.
No, it works better without a meal, because you have to drink less without the food in your stomach. It's economical.
It is economical, actually.
You're a cheap date.
That's true.
Yeah, cheap
You're a
date.
cheap
Jaymin's a
date.
very cheap date. So I thought we'd jump off with the What We've Been Doing segment, which we really need a better name for that, and then go into the fan mail, and then...
What have we been doing?
Yeah, at the end, we're going to go into the Big Boss 5 expose. So at the end, there will be spoilers. If you haven't gotten to the magma-tastic boss at the end of episode 5, Shooter 2, you can just, save the podcast until you finish it and come back later.
Yeah.
This is kind of awkward. I haven't actually beaten the last boss yet.
It's okay, because...
So you got the last bit of it, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, you're not in that part. We're bringing Kalin and Rowan in.
So yeah,
that.
that's later. That's later.
Excellent.
Okay, so
Coming.
Dylan, has there been anything exciting going on with you?
Last week?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna have to move on. You can think about it. Because I have my topic prepared.
Already gone. Anything interesting happened to you?
Me? Oh yeah, I got crazy exciting
Go on,
news. Something I want to announce. I'm writing an optimizing assembler for the SPUs, and it's pretty far along.
Okay, we just have to grade exciting into categories here.
Yeah, and actually, Jaymin, I think Jaymin's big news was that he, at Omar, who is a programmer here, we had his farewell party over the weekend, and Jaymin got up and did a speech entirely in Japanese.
Yes,
which
that was very impressive.
was the first time we'd ever actually really heard him speak
like
Japanese.
Street rhyming, what do you call it? That
It was all
like
freestyle,
Japanese.
yeah.
It was freestyle.
Freestyle
It was actually
Japanese.
freestyle Japanese. It was actually
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
You
interesting.
gave a speech. That's really nice.
It wasn't really.
I kind of twisted his arm.
Yeah.
I felt he had to.
No, he wanted to do
Yeah, I
it
know he
because he
wanted
kept
to do it.
bringing it up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
was like, I guess Dylan doesn't want me to do that speech.
I suggested it like months ago.
He did.
And then
I tried to get out
forgot
of
all
it.
about it.
Yeah.
But he just wouldn't forget.
Yeah.
If I was going to do it, I wish I had done more preparation. I could have learned to better, more natural ways to express Omar's douche crumpetness. But
But he's gone now.
you
You've got
did, yeah.
this chance
He's gone
to-
now.
And you know what? You did a great job. Although Paolo came, he's a programmer
This
here. He's an
was
Italian
great.
programmer.
Yes.
He came over to our
He's a
table.
sexy
We were sitting
Italian
at.
programmer.
Yeah.
and Paolo comes up to me afterwards and he's like, "Hey, your speech, it was so good, but maybe your Japanese pronunciation didn't know so good." Oh my god, no.
You did. He was like,
I don't think anybody understood what you were saying, but it worked.
I understood.
Sweet.
But then Paolo added, but I am very impressed by your SPUs.
Oh my god, oh no, the Italian guy just told me I have a bad accent.
That was pretty funny.
Well, I understood what it meant, and that's all I care about.
No, I
so.
understood. It was actually a really nice speech
nice
that you did.
speech, just touching.
It was.
Were you even there?
No. The speech. Was it lovely?
It was great.
really
Yeah,
lovely.
no, honestly. Yeah, I just, I was regaling stories about Omar, how, all the things he used to do, like get drunk and sleep in the street, or get drunk and, pass out places, or get drunk and chase girls around naked that he didn't know,
Or get drunk and wander into the river naked.
Yeah.
God, I saw that
He did
picture.
that.
Oh
We
my
have
God.
a picture that
I'm
we
scarred
can't,
for life.
which we cannot remove from our memories.
Right.
We have a
No.
photo. It's actually on Facebook somewhere.
He actually had to run through the river naked to catch his pants because his pants were floating down the river.
I saw the censored image, and I'm damaged enough from it.
Yeah, that censored image is pretty damaging.
Oh God.
The scary thing is that Ricardo has the original of that image somewhere in his hard disk.
I'm sure he treasures it.
Yeah, we should probably, how we flash images? Sorry, flash was probably the wrong word to use, but how we show
should pull
images
that
through
picture up.
YouTube, yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to decline.
And I got some
on that.
videos of him too. Of
You can enlarge the pedobear thing.
yes, the
pedobear.
Yes.
You can enlarge it so it covers
Which
a
was
bit
the
more of his
censored
ass.
bit.
What's
Like,
like
you can't-
pedobear? I'm a bit late.
Pedobear?
Yeah.
I think pedobear got its start on the forum,
4chan.
the nasty 4chan. Thank
4chan,
you,
yeah.
4chan, and
Anything that's remotely in that direction, it gets stamped with the pedobear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I
it's
see.
like-
So it's a picture of a nice, like, kind of fluffy,
Like fluffy teddy bear, yeah.
kind of in like
And his name's pedobear.
Right.
sketchy situation.
But the style is kind of like sort of slightly Japanese style, isn't it? The bear?
Yes.
Yeah, you can get pedo stuff everywhere here.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Especially in Akihabara.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Anyway.
Yeah, Duncan, have you been up to anything
Duncan, as a
awesome?
father.
Yeah,
That's the father at the table.
I managed to keep the paedophilia down this week to a minimum.
You tried to.
No, I've been because the weather's got a bit warmer. I've started because I saw you yesterday. I started running, jogging. Not as fast as you. I saw the speed you were going. I don't go that fast. Jesus. No, I go something that's slightly more than a walk. It's an insult to call it a run. I go a few times around the Gosho, the Imperial Palace here in Kyoto,
You
which
go
is a
around
nice place to jog.
He was really just lying on a blanket, like his eyes were watching other people go by. Trying to lure little kids in Gosho in with a pedo bear.
Oh god. Oh dear. Oh dear.
But yes.
Yeah, actually, now that we're on this subject, there's actually something that I'd like to bring up.
Paedophilia or jogging?
Well, it has to do
Juggling
with
pedos.
it has to do with pedophilia actually. So, I finished a replay. It was a replay of the Japanese version of Xenosaga Episode 1, which is one of my all-time favorite RPGs for the
Sega game,
PlayStation
right?
2. What?
Is that a Sega game? Is it?
No, it's actually Monolith Soft,
Monolith
which was
Software, okay.
published by Namco.
Namco, okay.
And
Isn't Namco that like organization that advocates like little boy?
okay, it is.
That's
yeah.
Nambla. Oh, sorry.
Anyway.
Oh, nice catch.
Yeah.
So I was actually, I wanted to. It was one of my all-time favorite games, so I figured, okay, I'd replayed Xenogears in Japanese like a year ago, because it's one of my all-time favorite games, and so I decided that I was going to play through the Xenosaga series in Japanese as well. And so I picked up the first episode and started playing it. I'd heard about a scene that they edited in the American release. I'm not sure about Europe,
Right.
but they edited a scene in the American version where the main bad guy is basically, he's torturing this little girl. She's really kind of a robot, only she's like organic.
Right.
She's an organic robot.
bit
She's
innuendo
basically
driven,
like almost like a 7-year-old girl, basically, in
Right.
appearances.
Yeah.
And he's doing all this crazy stuff like ripping off his own head because he has regenerative powers, and he's basically like mentally torturing her. And when I heard that it was censored,
What a great game.
I know. No. It's a pretty mature game, but when I'd heard that they'd censored that scene in the American version, I thought that it had censored some of the violence and kind of put obscuring shadows in the part where like he's holding his head and like doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what they actually did, and I noticed it as I was playing through it, there's a scene where he's trying to steal data that's inside her.
Okay.
And he's doing this by basically using his crazy powers to extract this information from her.
Okay.
Only in the Japanese version, he's doing it by kind of reaching into her chest, like inside her.
Right.
Oh,
And
right,
like there's this like nasty kind of squishing sound. And she's obviously traumatized by this incident, and the messed up thing is that the characters are kind of watching this happen, unable to do anything, and like screaming and like having a fit about it. But in the American version, they basically have him putting his hand kind of over her head, I think, and kind of sucking the life force out of her.
Right.
Although they left the squishing sounds in,
Right.
so it's like really kind of it's strange.
Well, you know, from a programmer perspective, I mean, that's the kind of thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't be bothered deleting the sound effects, so you just
Leave them in.
You just leave them
that
in,
part in
and like
adjust the
and you think
IK.
those bloody Americans, they're so. They just can't take it, can they? And then you
Crazy
and then-
Puritans.
and your arms like tied behind your back, and you have to like try and
Yeah.
and you have to fix this stuff to make it like sanitized.
yeah, well,
I'm sure I'd call that paedophilia though.
No,
I mean, it's just
but
sadistic torture.
it's
Yeah, just a
I mean, it was like
Kids.
it was like mind rape, only kind of a physical manifestation of that. And the Japanese scene that was in had so much impact, and it actually made sense. And then when they put the American version out, where it's like all these characters are freaking out over what this bad guy is doing to this little girl, it like didn't make sense.
But I think that's kind of standard for public schools in England, right? that kind of mind rape thing.
Yeah, I
If
suppose
Christopher
so.
Hitchens is to believe, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Faggot,
Stephen
right?
Fry.
Stephen Fry.
Fry.
Yeah.
Actually, a friend of mine who's a really big fan of Eva told me a while ago, and he likes to talk how he knows a lot of things about Japan, and I don't know if I should believe him or not, that in Japan, because there is no physical private space, like space is very small, and wherever you
Right.
go, there's other people
Yeah,
kind of packed in.
yeah.
You know,
Hence the emergence of love hotels.
Yeah, exactly. Like all you have is the space inside your head. So in stuff like Eva, where you get your mind invaded and things like that, it's like especially kind of, it's like a very...
That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if that's actually true.
I don't know if
but
it's true.
it's
It doesn't
interesting.
It doesn't sound like it's true at all.
Yeah.
but
He speaks very authoritatively.
Yeah.
I think what it is, I think it just keeps people quiet in their apartments because they don't play loud music. I think that's because if they play loud
Yeah.
music, they annoy all their neighbours.
Right, yeah.
And then what would you say about Inception, which is
Oh, that's not a Japanese movie.
well, right? I'm saying, but that kind of mind theft
I hate
is
to
happening.
I hate to point this out, but I didn't actually like Inception that much.
Really?
I thought it was too obvious. Like it was too kind of like it was like, and it wasn't actually correct. Like there was those scenes where they
found
stretch out the
holes.
time and it just didn't match up at all. Like to what they were saying, like the whole because they had to make it more, I don't know, palatable to the audience. So they kind of screwed up some of the time sequences. I thought.
I think there's some suspension disbelief that you kind of.
Yeah,
Well,
but then,
movie.
it becomes fantasy, where it's kind of they were trying to. It was more like a sort of not sci-fi, but kind of slightly hardcore sci-fi sort of concept. If you think about it, what they're
I
doing.
think there's a lot of license there because it was that director Christopher Nolan. He wrote the film as well. So it's his pep. And when we get writer and director the same person,
Yeah.
you can really go,
Yeah,
full
yeah,
on,
yeah,
can't you? No one's stopping you, right?
If the executive producer okays it,
Right, I suppose. But he got
The
so
money
much kudos
people.
from Batman Begins. Is that?
Yeah.
That he
Which
can't
he
do any
deserved.
wrong, right?
Yeah.
so-
And honestly, I think it was a
good movie.
great movie.
Yeah,
I
except
think both of those.
Christian
He's
what's-his-face's
the-
voice.
Christian what's his face?
Oh my god, man, that
Christian
guy's
Bale?
voice.
Christian
Like,
Bale.
someone get him like some Nodo Ame.
Okay, Nodo
Batman,
Ame. Explain what Nodo Ame is.
It's the...
Throw lozenges.
Well, I almost said the stuff you suck on.
Sorry, you're sorry.
To go back to the the previous subject.
I'm glad that kind of led into my discussion of my censorship qualms. But I also wanted to
that's
bring
what
up.
that was.
Yeah, that's what that was on the list. Yeah.
Right.
I also
I completely missed what we're
Check them
talking
out.
about.
I saw a post.
Oh, is that what you've been doing? Thing? was
Yeah,
it?
that's what I've been.
Okay.
What
I've
were you
been.
doing?
I
Censorshiping?
beat Xenosaga episode 1.
All right, you've been
Right.
doing.
Yeah.
God, I must have something I've got to say about what I've been doing this last week. What have I been doing this last week?
Working.
The deli has that new sandwich. They have the new sandwich of the day thing that they did
No,
before.
that was a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah,
Time flies.
Come on, what have I been doing the past week?
You've been having a nice normal life.
You've been working.
Nah, I've been working, I think.
SQL.
SQL?
SQL.
No, I've got a programming answer
I'm
to
doing
that as well.
SQL.
Is it interesting?
No.
Not as interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
then-
It's really interesting to me.
Pet project is this?
No, it's for doing statistics for Shooter 2.
Oh, okay.
So we collect all the online statistics and then we process them, and we use MySQL as the database.
Right.
And so I had fun programming that.
That was actually kind of cool.
It was kind of cool.
I like how she's laughing.
Oh,
I'm sorry, we don't laugh at you when you talk about how fun your like furry cosplay pirate.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
or
Here we go.
you're playing games where guys are reaching into the bodies
Like
of young girls.
Yeah.
Data raping some.
Data raping.
Data raping,
Data
yeah.
rape.
Data raping.
Data rape.
Thank God.
There's a meme.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There you
Data
go.
rape.
Tweet it.
You know, it's when you're hanging out with a
data.
program that you know
It's-
and
Yeah.
it steals that you trust. You think it's signed, but
Yeah,
really
yeah.
it's like stealing your personal data.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you get raped
Yeah, with your
for
credit
your
card
data
bill. Yeah,
by the
exactly.